I'm gonna try to be serious today. No, but come on, why I cannot do that? Good, this is like a perfect example of coziness, which is going to bring my first question.
The segue is perfect.
Well, hello everybody.
Hello.
And this is SMT number 9.
No.
9, come on, 9. We've been struggling. Working hard. Good. I'm married and I happen to be French and Harrison's mom.
See what I am today.
That's a good. Bro. He's your bra, come on.
I'm Francesca and I'm just Mary's daughter.
Like that's certified, all the rest is ambiguous. Good, yeah, I'm happy.
Yes.
I'm Harrison, and I am the son of Mary and Susan, and
For everybody to know.
the brother of Francesca.
Ah.
Even if it's not reciprocated.
The brother is reciprocated. Other things, you don't get it? Oh God. Teach me.
Life is a learning experience, Francia, and for Harrison it has just started.
For all of us.
Of course, of course, of course. Well, we're going to try to do like a complete, we're going backwards in time because we are nostalgic, I don't know why.
Nostalgic? Never.
No, we are going to try to do like the original version of the SMT without the questions and so on. Okay? Good. So first question, what did you learn this week? So, Harry, you ready to start? Oh, you got it ready! Come on, go, man, go.
Okay. I gotta think about how I word this one because like it was a difficult concept for me to understand at first, but what I learned was that in the past there wasn't a past. Time only passed.
Okay.
Do you know what
But
I
in
mean?
which past?
Okay, so like in the not so distant past, like I would say the 1700s, for example, like so like with the 18th century.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
people didn't have the concept of the past like we do today. Like it's not this like completely different object that's remote and untouchable. For them, time was this completely linear flowing thing. I know we kind of think
No,
that
but
we can
I
go
do
time.
have, I think there is a reason for that. And one reason is because things were
Change.
not, no, and then because things were not written yet.
No, I mean in the 1700s.
Well, some, but not as much as we have
Right.
now. Like testimony of things. I mean, we have everything written down now. We're writing down what we're doing today, and it's I don't know, it's published for everybody to know.
We're the information keepers, remember?
Of course. Sorry, finish your concept, Harry. Sorry.
No, but the biggest thing that they had to blame for it was like the fact that things changed so much faster now than they did back then. Think about it, like back in the 1700s, there was no such thing as the 80s in the 1780s.
True.
Versus for us, the 80s is this weird concept, it's abstract, it's far away, it's untouchable, and it's a completely different world from the world today. But for them, the 1780s versus the 1800s was just a time that had passed and it didn't really affect anything. And then they even believed for themselves, like they as a person did not change throughout their life. Like the person that who they were in essence was always the same.
Well, but come on, that's a retrograde concept.
No,
That's
yeah,
not.
of course.
That's definitely not positive. As for the rest, there's something positive about this. They lived in the present, which is what people are trying to do now. Like try to live more in the. They're trying to live more in the present. So that's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if. Do you think it really existed, that concept? I mean, I don't know, because you've read about it, but probably, I don't know, was it for everybody? Was it for some people?
Like when they look at, like when scholars look at records of people who talk about time in general in past periods, and that's not just 1700s, I mean 1700s and before.
Yeah.
almost every single like society and culture and record states, you know, like they see time as this like ever flowing thing. It's not like
yes,
there's no such thing for them as the past and the present as like nouns per se. You know
Of
what I mean?
course, of course,
It's
of
just
course.
time.
Of course, of course. Yes, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I have a hard time thinking about that and
Right,
putting
because
myself
our
like in those.
mindset's so
Yes,
completely different
yes.
because things change so much nowadays. Like 20 years ago was not the same world
True,
as
true,
today.
true, true.
For them,
Absolutely,
20
absolutely.
years ago, nothing changed.
Of course, of course,
nothing at
of
all.
course, of course, of course. Yes. So it was a consequence of reality at the end.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. I'm a teacher. I simplify things. You know.
And it's cool to see how like cultural
Yes.
differences can exist more in just different nations with different times as well.
True, true, of course, of course, of course. And do you think that in the future that will even get worse? Because of course things are changing faster and faster.
That
with
goes
us.
to my problem.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Good. Franchu, what did you think about, learn about?
What did I learn? I watched a 3 minutes video on YouTube where a man was was explaining facts that happened in 2020 that we didn't even know we probably didn't know about it because of the pandemics, because we were too busy thinking about the pandemic. So, for example, he was talking about, and I'm gonna mention this because we talked about it in the English lesson too. 2020 was the hottest year.
Yeah, exactly,
For
exactly.
example, or there was on that. Okay, so 2020 hottest year. Vladimir Putin approved in 2020 like
No?
una riforma costituzionale.
Okay, a constitutional reform, yeah.
Yeah, to be like
Re-elected.
Yeah, until 2036. So
Come on, 15 more years.
I mean, until
That's ridiculous. Until he dies, of course, it's a lifetime, of course.
Then Azerbaijan invaded Armenia for 2 months, and there was like a war there.
That's terrible.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, I didn't know about it. Maybe you.
Yeah,
know.
no.
And there were other things, but the last one I wrote that was impressive.
Yes, I'm impressed by
The president of Ethiopia, who won in the past Nobel Prize for Peace, did like a military offense
Yes, no, that's
to
a
northern
coup d'etat,
region
yeah.
in Ethiopia,
no.
and there
come
were
on.
lots of deaths. And,
Well, this is one of the contradictions, I think, of this year and COVID. I mean, we had so much time to think about so many things that we were not thinking about the past, and then we forgot about so many other relevant things that were going on in the world. No?
yeah.
No.
Come on. Because the truth is, it has given us, this has been time to think about and reflect on so many other aspects, but still we were forgetting about, yes. And I don't know, sorry, Irfan, I'm curious to know what people from other areas in the world.
Exactly, I was thinking the same thing. Okay, I don't think these people are really thinking about
Of
wearing a
course.
mask
Of
or
course,
kind of technique.
Well, and it goes back to us
This doesn't-
too. Sorry, go.
No, you go.
Like to be in lockdown, like we think like, oh, the whole world is in lockdown. Like we don't think about the fact that
Yes,
many countries and many places of the world don't give
True,
out
true.
one crap about the virus.
True.
Yeah.
True. Incredible. Yes. Good. What did I learn? I'm gonna say something that I have already told you because it was a concept that I didn't know about before, and it's this hygge, okay, that I told you the other day. It's this Danish word to name a quality of coziness, okay? Because that's what the dictionary says, and the word was coined by Cambridge, by Oxford, so it's a new word, and I don't know. It's not really the concept, because the concept is, come on, it's such a superficial concept if we think about it. But it made me think a lot about, first, people need to conceptualize things, you know? We always need to name things because we cannot cope with the idea of not naming things, now having control over things. And then, of course, I was thinking the relativity of that, and if Danish people are ever thinking, come on, our concept of coziness has nothing to do with the concept of coziness in Africa, in Latin America, in India. And so, yes, that's it. I mean, it kind of, I learned about it and it also blew my mind. But because I always go back because of my roots. I have a past that belongs to a different place. And this is like my personal battle, thinking always, I live in a place that has nothing to do or that has so many differences with the place where I grew up. So that's it. That's what I learned. Good.
It's cool that you can make like all those conclusions from one little concept too, just by expanding on an idea and like really thinking about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. But I always do that. Probably it's part of my me being a teacher.
Right.
Because I many
That
times.
more critical thinking, the more
Yeah. Yes, I think it comes from there.
It's something
I've
that
been
more people
trained.
could do more often. No.
True. Of course. Well, people could take more time to think about more interesting things at the end. Good. Next question is, what blew your mind?
Do you want to start?
Yeah.
So this week was the 27th was the day of
Holocaust. Yeah.
Memorial Day, and so I was thinking about like war, and what in my mind was thinking about photographers during war. Like think of how hard
Of
it
course.
is to be in that situation and like take pictures.
Yeah, of course. Of course, because there are so many pictures about that.
I mean,
about
today
those
too, right?
True.
I'm not thinking about World War II, but I think about today.
Yes,
People who film, I don't know, Hong Kong's protests.
Yes, of course.
And being the others on the other side and
Yes.
having to do your job, for example. I mean, of course, I hope these people choose to do that. Right?
Nowadays,
And
I think
chose
it's
to
like
do
this,
that.
no? A lot of journalists and photographers, they choose to go to different parts of the world to take photos of difficult things.
You know what I want to do, right?
Of
I
course.
want to do that humanitarian.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
If I
yeah,
did
yeah.
go into something more like
Yes,
journalism.
of course,
Yeah.
of course. Absolutely. Yes. That's what you have to do. Okay. That's excellent. Good, Harry, what blew your mind?
No, it's your turn.
Okay, so I was navigating with the concept of what blew, because I had a hard time first to find something that blew my mind, and then, Roger Federer kept coming to my mind.
Always
No,
does,
of course. I have to say that he's so handsome. Come on, if he ever listens to me. No, but I'm not going to speak about him. I'm going to speak about something that is connected to a personal note. Being an immigrant in Italy for many years, but I would say I've been here for 17 years, and I'm sure that for 10 or 12 years I kept asking myself, what the hell am I doing in Italy? Why am I in this place? Why am I here in Lecco? I don't know, that question kept on coming to me, and suddenly, after many years, there were a couple of events in my life that made me think, come on, this is the reason why I'm here, okay? But this week, I had a friend of mine who, you know the story, but I have a friend of mine who wrote a book, and he asked me to read it, and I wrote a couple of notes, and then he sent me the acknowledgement or the thank you note at the beginning, and of course, the first thing that he says is, I want to thank Mary because she has been my, unconditional friend, and it made me think that there's never one reason for things. There are so many reasons. We're always trying to find the one answer to things, but there are so many answers to things, and that's
or none.
Or none.
I mean,
in the same
sometimes you just have
exactly.
to take things like that and
without finding the answers. But I remember my rigidity in trying to find an answer of why I was in the
Like,
college.
this is the reason.
Exactly. And this week it came so clear that there are so many reasons why I am in LECO today after 17 years here. And it's of course connected to the concept of change, because come on, we change a lot, and the importance of being open to change and flexible, this resilience of the mind, not so much of the body, but of the mind and the heart. That's what blew my mind. Harry? It's connected to your concept
It's hard to top that.
No, come on now.
No, for mine it's still part of that time thing, because I was kind of
Of
doing all this
course.
research.
But
On the same
I had
subject.
things connected this week as well. I don't know, you too, Fran? Like when you were thinking about the questions of the SMT,
Connected.
you connected like what you learned with what blew your mind. With
Yeah, no, of course. And this happened at the time, so what you learn often
Okay, yeah,
blows you.
so it's alright.
Like, so what blew my mind was this concept that it's recently been come up with, and it's called social acceleration. Have you
Okay.
heard of it?
No?
It's like this idea that it's almost like a paradox, because you know how much we try to save time. We do everything is surrounded by
Yes.
we just save time and do things as
True.
efficiently as possible and try to fit as much as possible into every single day,
True.
and do not waste a single breath.
True.
Because we seem to have this concept that the more we do, the more accomplished our lives
Yes,
are, and
true.
almost the longer our lives are. You know, like the more that we do, the more lifetimes that we've lived, and so it feels longer per se.
Absolutely.
But the truth is actually the exact opposite.
I can imagine. Now that you're saying that, I'm just like, God, how much have we ruined our lives?
No, because people are starting to realize this concept of the more you put into your life, the more eventful things are, and the more you're not thinking about your life per se, you're thinking about all these things, and the shorter your life seems to be. Like, there's a direct impact on the amount of stuff you do and how short your life actually is.
Yeah, of course. No, but I can totally see your point.
And
Yes,
then,
but I think it's definitely connected to the thing of accomplishment that we are so signed for.
right. And it's people's failing ability, increasing failure to appreciate more than just the abstract concepts that they try to pursue. You know, like people aren't realizing, it sounds cliche, but like people aren't allowing themselves to be bored. People
Yes,
aren't
of
allowing
course,
themselves to feel time or have,
Of course. Well, but can I say just one thing connected to that? Because I'm reading a book this week, and there was one chapter that I read exactly this week, where this lady speaks about, she's got 2 children, and she speaks about giving the mobile phone to the children, and what that means. That we're always thinking that the problem is technology, the access to technology, and what is it that the children can access, and they can access these, and they can access pornography and sexuality and people and bullying. And then the problem with the mobile phones is that we are eradicating the possibility of boredom, okay? Because we get the phone and we can access everything. 20, 30 years ago, we didn't have these, and then we got bored.
And cell phones are the biggest time sucker in the world.
The biggest
Time sucker.
Of
in the
course,
world.
Harry, of course, absolutely.
Because on one hand, when you're scrolling through it, you ever notice you scrolling through your phone, time is flies,
Yes,
and
you
also
told
an
me
hour
this.
passes like that.
Yes.
And at the same time, you look back on it, it's not a very memorable experience, and so it feels like time flies in that sense too.
Totally.
And so you completely just lose that time altogether,
Yes.
both in the present and in the retrospect.
Yes. But I don't know, Franchi, if you remember, but how many times during the summertime, I don't know if you remember this when you were a child, and now I do it.
I know what you mean.
I used to tell because the kids always come and tell you, I'm
It's
so
okay
bored.
to be bored.
It's okay. You have to come on, say thank you for being bored. No, but I do remember that because I remember how bored I got when I was a child, and it was so good because that was the that ignited creativity for sure, curiosity, friendship, I don't know, ambition, everything, all the good
And
things.
it makes you appreciate the other things, when you do have things in front of you to do, when you do have a
Yes,
mission or
true.
a goal, you need the bad to appreciate the good. I mean, of course,
True.
with everything.
True.
Time is no exception.
Of
You
course.
need to be bored in order to be appreciative of the times that you have when you're actually experiencing things.
Of course. My friend Eugenie would say, stay still.
Hmm.
Because we've been speaking about this, and we have Eugenie with us today as well, in many ways. Good. Come on, that's nice. So, how something that you had to push yourself with this week a little bit more?
You go. You start.
Okay. So let me be quick on this. And teaching some students, I had a hard time. I had a hard time because it's like and I know how difficult the times are, but my concept, I don't know, my idea is that it can never be that difficult, like in your own personal life, for you not to have that possibility of enjoying and finding something positive. Even the thing of I want to learn, I don't know, that should push you in order to change and have like a positive attitude. And I cannot find it in many people. So I have to, many times I struggle with that because it's hard for me. Of course, come on, it's hard for everybody. This is an unusual moment, and we have said this a million times, but it's hard for everybody. But I always try to prioritize the moment and what is happening there. It's a learning experience for everybody, for me, for the children, I struggle when I see that there is not that feeling of, I don't know, like learning and everything. So that's what I had to push myself with. Yep.
Okay. I'll keep doing it about time.
Of
We
course,
gotta
of
keep on that theme,
course, of course,
and I
of
think
course.
we already kind of talked about this already, but pushing myself to live in the moment, like in the present, right now.
Yeah.
Especially.
We have spoken
this
about
past month and a half.
Yes, true. Of course.
Hmm.
Of course. But the push is connected to, pushing yourself is connected to, sometimes you have you have a hard time because you are connected to the past or to the future, and then you keep telling yourself, come on,
And then
Stay
obligations
in the
too,
present.
for example,
An
like if
obligation.
I have maybe school or something going on wrong in school and I'm stressed out and I'm just spending all my time thinking about that and that consumes my mind, and then I'm not really focusing on what I have in front of me, you know?
of
Or even
course,
just like
yes,
doing schoolwork. Like
yes.
I know I have to do schoolwork, of course, but then like I just feel like the time I'm doing that is time I'm spending away from doing the things and talking to the people and playing
It's
with the
true,
kids.
but you cannot I don't know, you.
I mean, everybody has like duties.
Exactly.
Yeah,
no,
of
and
course,
that
of course.
and all those things will take you to another place where you are going to learn more, know more, be a
Right,
better
yeah,
person.
Of course.
No.
But just to be able to separate, that work mindset, let's say, from the personal mindset, and being able to appreciate both and like make the most of the personal time that you have. I guess I don't know.
Yes. Of course.
It's not
of
always
course,
easy,
of course.
especially now in this period when you're not going to a school and then coming home. It can be difficult to separate things.
Yes, of course. Totally. Yes. That takes us to so many other things and connected to what has been going on during this year. I think, I don't know, there's a blurry concept of time in this moment, because it's like time has stopped and we are trying to figure out what's going on. Well, time is passing, but it has stopped. I don't know. No?
Yeah, no.
With
it's going
COVID and the whole
something.
situation, I don't know. It's yes, I don't know.
Yeah, and the time for you, the time with your family, the time for the things you want to like doing, the time for your school are all together.
Yes, of course.
Messy, it's
True,
hard to
blood.
organize.
Yes, of course. Yes. Like unrealistic, yeah. Franchi?
Paying attention to class.
Okay, of
To
course.
class?
Yes, during the lessons.
Yeah, was very hard for many reasons. I'm home, so I have my phone there, I have food there, I have accommodations there. I have Harrison.
Yes.
Harrison is a distraction.
He's a distractor. We can say he's a spoiler. I love that word. No, but for other things, not for the spoiler like in movies or whatever. He's a spoiler. Of family comfort. Oh, no, he's a good spoiler. I like this spoiler. This is the spoiler that I like. This is the type of spoiler that I like.
Because like even if he comes to my room and just I'm sitting and looking at the computer trying to pay attention, and then he sits very politely in the
He's doing my work.
Wait,
No, but I know what she's going to say. I know what she's saying. Yes, but it's not only that. Harrison wants to talk.
Always want to talk.
But this is the best thing about Harrison, for sure. He's gonna open your mind. I said it the other day on a very shitty message, but I said that. But he wants to talk, and he wants the attention, and he wants to conversate.
No, but I love that, and that's definitely the thing I'm gonna miss.
Of course, absolutely. Good. So, what time is it? Oh, it's time.
Come on.
Well, so let's think of a question connected to all the things for the
Not the surprise question for each other?
No, because we won't have time.
It
It's
would be
okay.
like lightning round. Say really quickly.
Okay,
Yes,
come on.
okay.
Let's start.
Or maybe each of us can think of the question and then we think about this week. We don't speak about it. It's the question for us to think about this week. No, you start. Okay, so. No, you want to speak. Sorry. I forget.
Come on, Mommy.
Of
You're
course.
always commenting what we're
Of
saying.
course. You're right. I'm sorry.
Okay, what is the material object you're most attached to?
Bicycle. My bicycle.
Bicycle.
Yeah.
Fair. I only have one.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Guitar.
Yeah, because I tell
The guitar.
Easy. For me, when I have one, a car, because that's freedom. You know.
It's the bicycle for me.
Right. Exactly.
Bicycle for me. Good. My question is one synonym of comfort and coziness for you.
Easy. Fireplace.
Fireplace. Okay, so that's very Danish.
Yeah.
I'm taking home.
So nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's
Right, okay,
You're
come
right. Your roots. You're right. Punchy?
food.
Food, of course.
Like good.
Of course. Food for me as well.
Sitting down at the table.
Yes. A good conversation for me. A good conversation.
That's good.
That's good.
It's interesting how you guys is completely different. Like your idea of comfort is completely different than mine too. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
Mine, I think about the winter time and being cozy.
Yeah,
And can I just say one thing? It's the attached object that you have is horrible. A car is so much realistic and American. Come on! No, but I think it's a
But
car.
I don't even have a car right now, so that
I'm
says
just-
something about how materialistic. I am.
No,
No,
I'm
car is
joking.
not materialistic.
No, of course not. And then I was thinking, it's also connected to the place where you live because you need a car.
Of course.
No, take it. I take it.
Okay, mine's not very good for lightning round, but since we were all exchange students, what's the one most important piece of advice you could give to an exchange student?
That's lovely.
Don't have expectations.
That was mine.
No, but that's a life advice.
I know.
Mine is take as much as you can from the experience. Take as much as you can from the experience. Like don't leave anything undone.
I have another one if you like want to know that one.
Which one
What's
is
the
it?
other one? Yeah,
Don't be afraid to try. Try.
Yes, of
Of
course. Good.
So you want to say?
No, that's
Expectations.
don't have expectations because I mean, like for me, like
Of course.
you can set the most humble, lowest, basic expectations, and you
But
change
still,
your
I
mind
agree
away
with
to
you.
fuck, freaking say
Yes.
Bye.
Totally agree. I know what you are.
Like literally, my exchange year, I could have gone. I wish I could just go to school and go outside. Like that seems like the most basic thing. Then, oop, virus. I'm stuck inside. This is the most thing.
Yes, of course.
There's no way you can plan
Of course,
a single
of
thing.
course.
So just the least amount of expectations allows you to have the most.
Yes, true.
Well, I don't know.
The more experience you will get
Exactly.
because you're ready and open for everything. Of course.
Question for no.
Questions for the audience.
That was fast.
You can think. Yeah, that was good. You can think of a question connected to time.
Time. Okay.
And next time we're speaking about vital space because there hasn't been any today.
It's the last time.
Next time, talk about vital space would be ironic.
I know. No, but next time we need to speak about space and connection. Absolutely, that's our next topic.
Okay, so think about time, like with the pandemic, I would assume. So like, you're better at those deep questions. What do you think?
I don't know. Which is the time where you try to live the most?
Okay, yeah, like when you feel like you're living mostly in the present. Like
Yes,
what's
exactly.
an experience or a
Yeah.
time in your life where you always feel like I'm living the present right here, right now.
Good. I like that. I like that question. Yeah! Vital space! No vital space! Oh, I love you both.